Welcome once again to my show, the Maserati Show. I'm here with my guest speaker.
Guest speaker. Is
Are you
this
going?
just how we intro the show now?
Are you gonna introduce yourself or?
Be okay, Pepper Potts, but I ain't no guest speaker. Where's the remote to turn the volume down? Because I don't know if you got it on mute.
You got it over there.
No, I don't. I do. Listen, last week you had it and came looking at me for it, so I really don't care what you have to say about that. Again, be okay, Pepper Potts, co-host, not guest speaker.
She's a guest speaker.
Also, you know what? Guest speaker does like someone that comes on the show that knows what they're talking about. You call them a guest speaker, so I guess that's not too bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you got some moonshine in there. The down south, the big size.
When they load your stamps up, baby, you get the real apple juice.
That is good apple juice. I will say that. I mean, Dole apple juice isn't that bad to me. I'm okay with Dole apple juice. So, but yeah, that is. You probably better off putting it on the floor because you keep vibrating the microphone when you do that. I just realized. Welcome to Just Say Fuck It, S1E15. Again, and for the last time until the show ends, I'm your host, BLK Pepper Potts. See, it's right there on the screen somewhere. Talk your shit, Miles, over there on the screen somewhere. That says talk your shit, Miles. Pick a name. Pick a name or pick a struggle.
Maz is short for Maserati. This is our guest speaker.
You said this already.
They need to know who you are.
I said it already twice, and I said I'm not saying it again until the show. Were you not listening to
It doesn't matter. The host
okay,
has to bring in the guest speaker.
Again, I'm kind of okay with being called guest speaker because the guest speaker tends to know what the fuck they're talking about. All right. See how bad that is?
Y'all happy with our roles in life?
This is not the worst thing. I've been called worse. I'll see you that way. I've definitely been called worse.
I'll call you worse.
And you surely have. Probably today.
I am your gracious host. I come to you.
Are you high? How many times are you gonna say your name?
And I come to you. I ain't said my name.
Listen,
yet.
Destiny's Child. Yes, you did. You said it. You did when I was saying. Host. You said Maserati Miyagi, and I said
I didn't say Miyagi.
Pick a struggle, talk your shit, Maz, and you said that's short for. So you said your name. What are our topics today? Let's actually talk about something.
Our topics for today is
how many of those gummies did you have? That's the topic for today.
The Dr. Strange.
Did you freeze?
I'm waiting for you to finish giggling Putin.
I was birthday.
Yeah, right. I smoked that broccoli. The Doctor Strange movie.
I hate you.
We got the Western Conference Finals. The Mavs versus the Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
We also have
you having a heart attack. You all right?
What's the name of the other movies?
Our Father.
That's
streaming on Netflix.
Yep.
And then one of the picks was yours.
What's it called? Equal.
You know what? I didn't get a chance to type that one up because I was. So I don't. It's your topic. You should know the name of it.
Pathetic.
It is pathetic that you can't remember the name of your topic.
And the TV show We Own the City.
We Own the City. So we probably just gonna skip the one you can't even think of because yeah.
It was such an educational movie as well.
So educational. It didn't educate you to remember the name.
When you watch so much stuff, you really don't keep up with all the names of everything.
You know what? I didn't used to when I had cable. Because when I had cable, it was just kind of like on. So now that I stream, you're looking at the title name. I'm better at keeping up with those things now. I can just say it that way. So where would you like to start? Ooh.
We can start with the one that you watched.
I want to say that one. No, we gotta get into the show and then we'll get there. I was gonna say the Western Conference Finals since it happened last night, or Doctor Strange since we've been putting off talking about that because I didn't want to spoil the movie for anyone because I hate when people do that. So Western Conference Finals or Doctor Strange.
We can do Western Conference.
All right, because that's gonna actually be pretty short. This is the first time I saw Luka and I was not impressed. He doesn't even know who Luka is. Let's start there. I was not impressed, and he doesn't even know who the guy
You
is.
gotta have a dope ass jersey from you. Who you are.
Yeah,
You gotta do something.
well, see, here's the thing. I have been hearing about him, and because I don't really watch sports that much anymore, I hadn't like really seen him play up until last night. Now everyone knows like the Golden State Warriors. I mean, they're vetted very well in postseason games. They've been, oh my gosh, I think it's been like 7 years straight now or something like that. Um, when the game started, I was like, oh, the Warriors won. It was just, you could tell they just came out and they just seemed ready. And I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of in and out of the game, sometime around the third quarter, but I called Golden State winning before, like right when the second quarter got started. I fell asleep. I'm sorry, but when I woke back up, the game was over and it was, pretty much the score that I thought it would be. But from what I did see from Luca, like I don't know why I keep hearing about him. And that's just kind of my 2 cents on him. Would you like to see a picture of him and then maybe you remember? Oh, I forgot my.
I'm not gonna remember. Even if I see a picture of mine, but that's what y'all talking about. I'm pretty sure
Oh,
he
that
doesn't
wouldn't
have.
help, huh? Well, that's Luca. Oh, I don't have the share screen on, but that's Luca.
He looks like Deladova. Y'all remember the dude
He
that played
does
for the?
kind of.
That's what I seen a picture of. I thought it was Deladova when they showed the picture of him.
Oh, so
like it was that picture.
So it works. Well, look at there. You have seen him. Yeah, that's Luca.
No, I don't know if I seen him because it could have been Deli. It could have been Deli.
I'm gonna guess that's probably who you saw. Because why would you see a picture of Deli?
Because they be showing Deli for some reason.
Right, that's
like,
what I'm
when he
like.
got traded, they was showing this nigga like he was like the main player on the team and shit when he got traded from the Cavs. I was like, this nigga wasn't the fucking 8th best player on the Cavs. Why do y'all keep showing a picture of him after he gets traded and shit?
I mean, I definitely do recall when he was here, he was beloved. He was definitely loved, and then it didn't last long like I figured it would.
Games, though. He had like 2 good games.
He had 2 good games out of how long was he here? I'm only saying it that way because that's how you yeah.
But that's why he was beloved, because he had them 2 good games.
Because of just that. That's all it took, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? Cleveland is a city. It's easy to win in. It's easy to win the fans in. Like I can't.
Like once he had that one good game that first time, they had like Delyville and all type of shit going on for Deladova. Like they really.
I thought it was Della DeNova.
Huh?
I thought it was Della DeNova.
His name?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really care. That's not what you said. That's
no, Delyville, like Nellyville.
No, you say his name.
Say his name.
Yeah, say his whole name.
Oh, I ain't about to pronounce it.
See, that's what I'm saying. When you said the whole thing, you didn't say that, and I wasn't even like trying to be funny or correct you. I just thought maybe I had got it wrong. That's why I'm like, wait, okay, then I'm gonna go with that's.
I don't know. His name is something, but they call him Deli though. So
it's Della DeNova. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Because it was a very unique name, so I'm pretty sure it was Della DeNova. I don't watch sports anymore. He just doesn't really watch sports at all. Now, if this was back in the days of where I actually gave a shit, I could definitely tell you. Oops, sorry, off top. Wow, we definitely talked about that longer than I thought we would.
You would not be able to pronounce that boy's name.
What? You mean I won't be able to spell it?
You wouldn't be able to pronounce it.
I won't.
You would still mess it up because he wasn't the main player like that.
Oh, you saying I was still Della Villanova? Wait, is that him? Yeah, that is him. Della or whatever. Anyway, that one dude that once upon a time played for
again. Even if you did watch it and it was back in the day,
but I was definitely getting that wrong. Also, is what I was actually going to say. See, you couldn't even let me just admit when I was wrong. That's so fucked up.
Because I was in the middle of talking.
Oh, I guess I wasn't in the middle of listening.
That's why everybody remember who he was. That's why he was beloved in Cleveland and shit.
Yeah, but you said that already. Yeah, I definitely heard you.
They have to understand something.
That you repeat yourself because you.
When I make these points, I want to reiterate them so they stick with their head.
You hiding on a loop. That's what's happening. All right, what was the next topic? Because I really did not think that we were going to actually talk about this that long. I swear I didn't. What did I? Oh, Doctor Strange. Yeah, let's move on. Fuck that shit. The Warriors won. The Heat and who was it? The Bucks. I think it's the Heat and the Bucks. No, Celtics. Yeah. The Heat and the Celtics played tonight. You know what I did take note of? For like the couples out there that like the guy watches sports and like your SO, your significant other. I don't, because there's so many different kinds of relationships. I don't want to offend nobody. This shit is going on like every day for like the next 30 days. If that person you're with watches basketball heavily, like just find something else to do. Because I looked at the schedule and they just go Western, Eastern, and I'm like, yo. So anyway, Doctor Strange.
I mean, shit, it's a 2-hour game. They can spare themselves.
No, like some couples have like, oh no, it's not a 2-hour game. There is a pre-show, the game, the halftime show, and then the post-highlight show. And then whatever show you watch after that discusses all the sports that took place that day. That's why I'm like, for the next 30 days, he or she is busy.
If they that much into sports, trust me, they watch that shit throughout the whole season, so they ain't seen each other significant.
But no, not necessarily
throughout
true.
The entire fucking season.
That's not necessarily true. It gets different in the postseason. You want to see more of the games than in the regular season because it's, that's that it. You're better with just catching the highlights during the regular season. No, postseason.
If you got to sit through the
postseason is I'm busy.
The pre-show.
Postseason is I'm busy. That's it.
If you sit through the pre-show, the regular show, the post-show, the sports center, and like if you sit through all that, you are a sports fan and you have definitely neglected your significant other throughout the entire season of whatever sport it is that you've watched. If you just doing it and you like, I watch it throughout the season, but I really watch it at then you just probably go watch like maybe see what Charles Barkley go say and Sports Center and you go watch the regular game.
Again, I can't believe we're still talking about this. But speaking of which, when I like I said, again, I used to watch sports more often. So it's different now that I kind of just hop in. I'm trying to label this clip. I don't remember what that was. You know who's on the NBA on TNT? It's what is it?
Shaq, Charles Barkley,
Ernie. What's the other one?
That's it. I'm done.
Okay. I can't think of his name. Here's what hit me in the fields, man. They're so old now. Like, again, because I don't watch that much anymore, it's just different. And I'm like looking like their face. But you know who looked the youngest? Charles Barkley. He still kind of looked the same. All right, we were supposed to move on like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, nobody want to hear about your crush on Charles Barkley.
Not what I said. Doctor Strange. Now that's somebody I do got a crush on. I love me some Doctor Strange. The Doctor Strange 2 movie finally came out. Ooh, it's been 2 weeks now? Yeah, somewhere around 2 weeks. Because like I said, we've been putting off discussing it just so we could avoid any spoiler alerts. I had mixed feelings about it. It's like I liked it, but I didn't. Doctor Strange, since what is he phase whatever of the Marvel rollout, his movie made him one of my favorite characters. So I was gonna be excited anyway. I guess is what that kind of comes down to. But I also love Wanda because of the WandaVision that happened last year. It just
what?
It was still kind of, and that's it. I liked it, but it was still. It seems like okay. Here's 2 things. One, the movie was supposed to come out last year, and I think even the way it is now, I think for everyone it would have still hit better because it was going to come out around the time of like WandaVision and What If, and all those things would have been, the experience of watching those the first time. Definitely different and also more fresh in my memory, although I have watched those series more than once. But still, if it had came out last year, would have hit different. 2, it seemed like the movie was supposed to be something else and they changed it. Like, I don't know at what point it was like, it took like this weird twist. I think when he caught up with Wanda, like before he found out that she had like the dark spell or whatever, when they was in the field with the trees and shit, and she was like,
Yeah.
"No, this is real." And then yeah, somewhere right there, honestly, for me, is when it seemed like the movie was like, "What?"
I mean, I like it.
I knew you was gonna.
I'm not a Doctor Strange fan like that. Like,
Really? I
no.
like Doctor Strange. I do.
In the cartoons, I didn't like him. In the movies, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I always think Doctor Strange like a con artist. To me, he's like that person that just,
Why?
come on, the Avengers. He told Iron Man, it's only one. It's only one way. And I'm thinking to myself, like, nigga, I believe you could have did it, but you just didn't want to die. You could have been the one to grab. You could have been the one to do the snap, but you just didn't want to die.
No, there was a reason when he came. Wait, I can't remember. I thought there was a reason. Oh, now see, we should talk about it and get it wrong. I can just hear all the the real fans now. Like, I didn't even fuck that up. I'm pretty sure it was a reason. I can't remember what it was.
Because it can't be he was the most noble. It can't be he was the most whatever. Because, everybody had that shit. Like, we've seen that in the movie once, Captain America grabbed the hammer. I was like, oh, okay, so now this nigga's worthy. I don't know what he did. All of a sudden, this movie's making worthy.
There's a reason. Now, there is definitely a reason for that, because that's why people celebrated it so much. And I honestly have no fucking clue, but I know there is a reason for that. Because it's like with Moon Knight, when he can hold it whenever. By the way, I miss Moon Knight. It is kind of weird on a Wednesday. I was really into that show. Did we talk about Moon Knight yet?
I don't think we did.
No. Well, we can switch over to Moon Knight, since neither of us really was. Wasn't really caring for the Doctor Strange character, period, and I wasn't so much caring for the movie.
I don't like his character. He just seems kind of shady.
You just won't let me transition when I had the transition set up. Why is that? I have them set, ready to go, and you like, no, I'm going to go back.
I'm trying to help you out, because
You're not.
There's gonna be 10 minutes left in the show. You're like, well, we're out of topics. You're like,
no, we've actually already been streaming for 20 minutes. So can I go back to? And my transitions be like.
All right, go ahead.
So anyway, Moon Knight.
Go ahead and transition.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you who can transition. Moon Knight. The guy that plays, boom, got it. The guy that plays all these different characters, he plays those very well, to the point when it's Mark or Steven or the one added at the end. What was his name? I can't remember.
I'm not good with names.
Apparently. Anyway, there's at least a 3-way split personality. Basically how I view it. If you haven't seen Moon Knight yet, that's just too fucking bad. The guy that does it, I can't think of his name, and I have looked it up before, because he just immediately in episode 1 of Moon Knight, he played the character so well. I definitely had looked him up, and I'm sorry, I can't remember what his real name is. But to go from the polar opposite with those characters and accent thrown in there too. I think he killed that shit. It made the show that much better. Go ahead. It was alright.
It was cool. He wasn't you know what? He's supposed to be a lot more violent, and they didn't it wasn't enough violence.
That must be the third personality, though. See,
bring in that violence.
Come on, man! It's just season 1.
Man.
You don't know. Don't put it all out there, because you know there's a season 2 coming. There's a season 2 coming of that. There's a season 2 coming of Loki. So for Moon Knight, no, just but we got a taste of that, because that third personality was the one that had did all the fucked up shit, because Mark or Steven couldn't remember.
That would be like if you watch the fucking Superman series and he never went into the booth and turned into Superman. Except for one episode, and it was like episode 6. It was 8 episodes. He was like, motherfucker, I want to see Superman.
Well, some of us like a climax, okay? Leave me on a fucking cliffhanger, and that's okay.
No, push me off the cliff.
They went, Now you got to tune in until next season.
No.
I appreciate those
100
things.
feet back, come running full speed with the Jimmy Superfly Snugger drop kick me off the cliff.
Okay. Okay, listen, 300. Not
I
all
need
of
it
us
all.
want to go for
I
it.
need everything. Give it all to me.
No, I like that it ended that way. It also, with me, I don't watch like the trailers for things and what's coming up next. So I don't even know when it's the last episode of the season. So when something like that happens, I'm like, oh shit. So I'm also going into it not even knowing. So I'm really left just dangling in the air at the end of the episode. Actually, the episode before that could have been the end of the season.
I think that they kind of changed this shit up because the trailers that I saw for Moon Knight, like in the beginning, that shit was violent. Like, dude really was doing some shit. Like, he was fucking people up.
Maybe that's that stuff that they'll probably do like flashbacks and shit with the third personality come season 2. Listen,
Man.
smart shows will keep you watching. Smart shows will make sure you're gonna come back for season 2. I'm glad they don't write for people like you because that was.
There's enough action and enough people to kill.
All shows do that though, so you must hate all shows.
No, because some shows actually get to the point. Like
they did though.
Like We Own the City. Them niggas started off robbing and fucking shit up. Mm-hmm. They didn't wait. They didn't say, "Hey, let's show these guys the good cops for the first season, and then show how they went corrupt in the second season."
Now, see, the only thing with that show is they bounce around so much, and I don't know. Because they bounce around so much, it's hard to keep up. And I know him so well from Walking Dead. His character on there was Shane, and I'm so used to seeing his face, and it doesn't look that much different, except for I guess the hair. And what is it like from what year does it go back to? I know that I think they
07?
Yeah, somewhere around 07. Is it earlier than that too? I think it's like it goes into what, 2015, I think, of the files that they show. Yeah. I can't fully even like explain what the show is about. You know why I can't? Because in my head the wire is so stuck. So when I'm watching the show, I'm still fucked up. They got the dude playing that played not Avon.
Marlo.
Yeah, Marlo. He's sitting here playing a fucking cop and it's fucking me up because now he looks different. He definitely looks older. He's older, so his body is built a little bit different. And I'm looking at him and I keep thinking of Marlo. The other kid, I think it's one of the kids that was on the show that's grown up now. He's playing. It's so much connected in my head for The Wire that it's the one dude that was
shit. It was O-Dog.
Oh boy, you about to try to remember all that. Good luck.
It's the one that had the real funny ass name.
Oh wow. Okay, if you can't remember, just see how I just right on by because I can't remember the name. You really about to sit here and try to think of it.
I really try to think of it.
Yeah, have fun with that. And the year from that show goes back to isn't that far from when The Wire, I think, like ended too. So, and I think the creator of this show is the creator of The Wire. Someone that has something to do with The Wire is also involved in the show. But the show We Own the City is cool. I'll at least give it that much. But I feel like the more details I get, the more. I don't know if I should just let this go by or should I be worried? Because they didn't really seem to keep going. Oh, wouldn't that be crazy if it just the whole rest of the show?
Oh no, something happened in this building, you know.
Oh, well.
There's a lady that talks.
Oh. Please. Would you make it down the 8 flights of stairs is what I'm...
Back to the building. Yeah, I would just get on the rail and slide down.
Oh, I'll definitely have my camera out for that. I'll be live. I'm willing.
I'm sliding.
I'm willing to risk it to make sure I catch that on camera. Again, the show We Own the City, I like it. I think it's also probably more so me. I'm so attached to The Wire that to see. And they're in Baltimore. And it's just all the characters. It's so many characters. I'll figure it out. But I still like the show. And part of the reason I like it is because it makes me think of The Wire so much too. So I know what you're gonna say.
What if they had like a flashback where they had like one of the kids that was selling drugs on The Wire, and they saw him still selling drugs, and then how he ended up going to the police academy and bettering his life, and now he's a cop. He's like, oh, that makes sense. He's the same nigga from The Wire.
I don't think they're
gonna do that. I love it.
Because they're not gonna do that. You know why?
I know they ain't gonna do it, but
it's
a nice thought.
That was just a hope and a dream then, huh?
It was just a nice thought. I mean, if you get
they're not, because I think I saw something saying that they want to keep the show separate, even though they put so many characters.
I was gonna say you got half the fucking cast or something.
Well, that's creative. Whoever creates shit,
you got half the fucking cast from The Wire in the same goddamn city, and then show flashbacks.
Why wasn't that the show though? Like the corrupt cop side of the city, because we got like a little bit of it with like the politicians, but they more so went through like the law anyway to do their dirt. It should have been connected anyway. If I was the person creating it, I would have just connected. Had their own little freaking Wire universe like Marvel and freaking Star Wars got and shit. And Power. Who dropped the ball on that? It could have been like how Power has it.
I mean,
damn, who fucked that up?
You gotta have a team though. Like, no,
you don't need a team for that. You tell somebody that, they'd be like, oh shit. So that hasn't been done yet. So it should be done. Well, I guess
when you think about Marvel, you think about Power. Those are people like you talking about is 50 Cent and is the top people that's doing the show. Mm-hmm. Like they're a team, so they're all collaborating on that. So they all still have to. We don't know if the people from The Wire, they was even still, getting along at that point. If they were still sitting around saying, I still want to continue with this. Because a lot of times people write for shows and they be like, well, I want to do something else. So you'll lose half the people that's writing. They be like, when we end the show, that's it. I want to do something else. So,
well, I'm not saying then. I'm saying now.
Oh.
I'm saying because someone had this idea for the show, why didn't they just connect it to The Wire and start their own little universe of Baltimore crime or some shit? Because the show is good. So, like, it's like you're already there. And it would have, I'll put it to you this way. They would have definitely easily drawn in more viewers if they hadn't done it that way, because people love The Wire still. Like, it's still a topic when people talk about TV shows that we've seen and loved. Yeah, that would have been like instant freaking views. That's it.
But people don't go like that. It's like,
what you mean people don't go like that? we see it happening right with Power.
Yeah, but that's Power and that's that team. When you have a different set of people.
Oh, you mean the people working?
Yeah.
But why would you need them to? The creator of, okay, let me double check that, because I'm pretty sure the person that created The Wire created the show that we're talking about.
Yeah, but when people do stuff like that, they'll be like, I like the way that ended. I want to leave it there. I don't want to touch that anymore. I want to do something different. I don't want it to connect to that. It's the same thing. Like, it's like dealing with a rapper. Like, you would tell rappers like, hey, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? And they'd be like, well, no, I don't want to do it this way. I don't want to do it that way. Like, well, you can connect this and connect that and do this.
Oh, you're saying what I said in the beginning. Maybe they just didn't want to. But I didn't get that deep into the thought of how beneficial that would have been. That's why I switched. Like, yo, why didn't y'all just... Oh, yeah, no, I totally agree. Maybe they just didn't want to connect all the shows.
Yeah.
I
want to do something completely different.
Yeah, no. I got it. What I would switch that thought in my head was realizing how beneficial it would have been to connect the shows. So I'm like, yo, y'all could have. Once it was when I realized they could have did like their whole like universe of shows and different characters spun off and shit like that. That's when I was like, yo, you tripping to not want to have connected the shows. But now that's when the thought was like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah, people are funny about that shit. They'll be like, I don't want to connect it. I don't want it to have anything to do with what I did over there.
Yeah, no, totally get it. Totally agree. However, I think that's stupid. Again, once the thought got deeper, I was like, yo, you wildin'. All right, what else did we have? You know what? You skipped up to that. So all we have left now is Our Father and the show that you mentioned that you can't think of the name of.
It's terrible.
So have you seen Our Father yet?
Nope.
Okay. This started somewhere around the 70s. There was this doctor, his name was Donald Klein. And, back then, fertility doctors were like non existent. Then, women that couldn't conceive children, you got whatever help you could, but as far as like surgical procedures, it really wasn't done that much. And then also too, you probably had to have a certain amount of income in order to be able to afford. It's still that way to this day, but to be able to afford to have a procedure like that done. So, man, this is a story we've kind of heard before, but never in this way. This doctor used his own sperm that was supposed to be donor sperm. Now keep that in mind. It was supposed to be donor sperm anyway, except for a few cases was actually supposed to be the woman's husband. Like there was a few cases. This one girl, she gets tested, and she knew that she had a donor father. She didn't know who it was. She couldn't find out who the father was, but she wanted to find out who her siblings were anyway. Okay. So what she does is at this time, this was like 2002 or 10, somewhere in the time of when that the DNA test started to become a thing. So that's what she did. She got the DNA test, like the ancestry.com, and I think it was one two. She didn't do that one yet. I think it was the 123 Me or whatever that thing is called. That's the one she took. She put some information online. And because she knows that her father that she grew up with isn't her father, she's actually expecting to get hits for her siblings, right? And one part I left out is she knew who her mother's fertility doctor was, and she called and she talked to him. And she said, or rather, he said he wouldn't give any information as far as who the father was. That's why she also went in search of the siblings. So she puts the information in for the DNA stuff, and she gets a couple hits, as she expected. Why? Because there should only be up to 3 hits for a donor sperm at this time. Again, she's grown now. This is a older woman. These things took place back starting in the 70s and continued. I don't know for how long, to be honest. I'll tell you how many siblings she has and counting. Um, she gets a couple hits as expected, but next thing she knows, she gets a few more. And then she gets a few more. And then she gets more. And then she gets up to 15 hits of close relatives as siblings. So she's like, what the fuck is going on? Why do I have 15 siblings? Again, this is someone that is aware, but she shouldn't have 15 siblings. This is how these people found out that the fertility doctor was using his own sperm in order to impregnate these women. Now, again, I will say that donor sperm, you don't technically know who the person is, especially we have to go back in time. This was 1972. Records they were kept differently. Um, these women didn't know that there was their fertility doctor, though. So they meet up, but in the meantime, they keep getting hits. I'm gonna jump a little forward in the story to the point of he wasn't charged still to this day for the crime that he committed because of however their rape laws are set up. I think this was in either Indiana or Indianapolis. I can't remember which one. It was one of those two eyes. He was charged for lying to the prosecutors that he was not the father. This is what he was charged for. So now notice what I said. He was charged for lying that he was not the father. So they know that he actually committed this crime. Up until this day, well, up until I think the documentary said 2018, 94 have been accounted for. Now, mind you, where this doctor was, some of these people lived in a 25-mile radius of each other. Now, we didn't get all 94 stories, but I can pretty much guarantee you at least 2 of those ended up in a relationship one form of another. It was just fucked up. The laws for the fertility just changed And I think they haven't changed in a way that affected him to still go to jail. But yeah, he didn't go to jail. He didn't do anything illegal. I think you know what I expected to happen. I expected him to go to jail for the ones that was supposed to be the husband though.
Man.
That's what I thought he was definitely going to get in trouble for. That's out of anything, I was shocked. I'm like, how did you get away with that one? The donor one, I don't like it, but you don't know who the father is anyway. Now, granted, these women were like, yo, this was not okay. If I had known it was him, I would not have wanted it. There was one couple there, and I thought it was crazy that she I'm not saying she was like totally approved of it, but she was just like, then this was supposed to be her husband, and they knew him. He literally was the daughter. They had twins. Was her freaking gynecologist, and she didn't know it was her dad.
I mean, shit happens.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Shit happens. I mean, motherfucking shit. Shit motherfucking happens.
94.
You go to the sperm bank and you want a donor, well, he was donating.
Yeah, and like I said, there was the one willing to be on camera because you had people putting in testimony to the court. This is a good man. This shouldn't happen to him. Two things to note, because I know anyone may be wondering, like, why would you do this? They brought up one thing that happened in his life that I'm not saying this is what it was, because I kind of changed tones because it was sad that happened. I wasn't so much sad for him. He hit a little girl. She like darted out into the street when he was younger, and then after that, he was saying that's when his life changed. And they brought it up on the show, even though I was thinking of like, wow, maybe he just got fucked up from that. He was just trying to help people get pregnant to make up for the life he took. And then there was the other situation of somewhere in connection to him. Some kind of cult involvement of repopulating the earth with blonde hair, blue eyes. A lot of the people that were willing to be on camera anyway were blonde hair, blue eyed. And for a lot of them, that's what made them question, their background, because the one lady was like, everybody else is dark hair and dark eyes. Why I'm blonde and blue? So yeah, that had came up. None of the women that he gave donations to were melanated. So because they had pictures of just a whole bunch of babies. So there was just two reasons of possibly why, because a lot of them just also at this point wanted to know why and they couldn't get an answer. So that was yeah. He got 94 people added.
Fuck it. I mean, you gotta understand something. We can act like everybody was upset, but on paper, you gotta be thinking to yourself, like, I'm going to the sperm bank. I'm assuming, you be like, hey, listen, here's what I want. I want, athletic, tall, blase, blah. And he thinks, okay, we'll see what we can do. And you find out, like, oh, it's a doctor. I'm having a baby by a doctor. Okay, I'll do it.
Oh yeah, I guarantee. You know what? Again, 94 cases. There was some women within that was like,
yeah, that's good pickings. I'm sorry. If you go to a sperm bank, that's good pickings. You get a doctor's sperm. That's good pickings.
Now the catch to that is where they thought it was coming from. I forgot about that part. We're actually supposed to be doctors. I forgot. They did know. There was the nurse that worked there. Again, this is the 70s. The nurse that worked there, she said she would go across the street to the residents that worked there. And, some of them were willing to donate. So I get what you're saying, and I agree. I guarantee you, out of 94 women, some women were happy to hear that. But yeah, they kind of already thought that was happening anyway.
I'd be happy. I'd be like, she a doctor.
Yeah, that was the thing, that cult I was saying he was involved in. A part of just blonde hair, blue eyes, they also wanted them to be like in political fields and doctors and lawyers and shit. Yeah. So you definitely got.
Yeah, I mean, shit. If I'm a female and I get to pick and choose who my baby father is, I'm going for a fucking doctor or a lawyer. I don't want to sit up here and be like, I want the motherfucker that was just like, I need $50, so I came to the sperm bank. Like, I don't want that motherfucker. That's not the motherfucker I want to impregnate me.
Yeah,
Give me
again,
a doctor.
the one lady that was on camera, and what fucked me up about her was it was supposed to be her husband's, from what I could tell. So, and that's what I said. And they also knew him, so she was a little weird.
I mean, she might not like her husband as much.
And I was sitting there, and I was looking at him for his reaction. He just said, "I'm like, well, I guess y'all have had this conversation before."
Yeah, I mean,
I was definitely like, "Ooh," and he has what to say about this because they on camera, so I'm like, react. He sat there like, whatever. Now, one thing. Well, I guess they couldn't even go for child support because it's donors sperm either way it go, except for the ones who were supposed to be the actual father. That's still the catch-22 for me. That's where it was just like, oh, dude, that was kind of wrong. But yeah, he claimed that he didn't feel like he was, wrong, and he was helping these women. He had a 94. That's a high sperm. He knew he couldn't miss, and he kept getting patients too. He was like the top doctor. Now, here's what's crazy: without the technology and things like ancestry, DNA, and shit like that. So since then, there's been like 44 other doctors that came up, and honestly, I was surprised that was it. I was shocked. I'm like, really? Just 44? I thought there was going to be at least in the hundreds. At least.
Doctors is out here doing this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It could be. They just ain't got caught.
No, they would have been by now. That ancestry DNA and shit, it's been around too long now. It's been around too long now, because that was what I was thinking. Like, well, maybe they didn't catch them yet. Now there will be another one to do it. Like, just because this shit exists, that motherfuckers don't care about getting caught even. So, I mean, we ain't heard the last story like this. I didn't even, and they didn't give the dates of those other cases. They just said 44. So, shit, those could have been some. I'm sure they were actually.
Good pickings. I'm sorry, good pickings. You get a doctor.
Business was booming. He was guaranteed to get these women their babies. That's what's so fucking crazy.
If he even had a thing about blonde hair and blue eyes, I'm pretty sure he could have advertised them like, "Hey, I'm a doctor. This is I got a high IQ.
No. You can't do that though, because of the fact that it would create too many siblings. See, that's the thing. Like, I named how many hits though these. Think about all that. Their cousins pop up and shit. Mm-mm. And then too, that's why I know, like, a lot of those women, if they had known, they would have turned that down, knowing that there were that many other kids, especially also living. A lot of them lived close. Everybody wasn't gonna go for that. Nah. No. Again, like I said, the one lady, she seemed a little oddballish. All right, so what was the show that you had? Huh? What was the show that you had that you can't think of?
What was the name of it?
No, you couldn't think of the name of it. Remember?
Yeah, I couldn't think of the name. I thought you were gonna pull it up.
No, how can I pull it up if I don't know the name of it?
Just search All Black.
What?
All BLK.
What? Somebody stole my name. What? What am I looking for here?
And TV shows or movie.
Is it a movie or TV? See, now remember, this is your topic. All black movies. What? Oh, you're trying to go for all black cast. That's not how you do that.
No, all black is one word.
This?
All BLK.
This right here. Okay. Yep. All right. You got me clicking. Oh, come on. You got to be better with the topics, man.
I told you the name of it. You didn't write it down.
Did you write it down?
I did over there.
Well, go get it. We could have did that faster than pulling it up. Remember, the computer is lagging. This is going to take forever. You could have went over there and got it. Oh, wow. So what else is going on in the world? Because
don't worry, I get it. Oh.
Well, it's about to come up now.
No, you ain't even on right part.
Listen, again, this is your topic. Now, look, don't forget, always save the camera. I could not believe you had to get up on. This is your topic. Now, you got me just sitting here. Myself. Ooh. I'm also trying not to have that air. So, what else went on around? The Billboard Music Awards happened this past week. No, you know what I want to talk about? The shirt I'm wearing. Because I'm wearing this because past guest Ardazar was here and it was his birthday earlier this week. So again, happy birthday to him. I think it was on Monday. I tagged you in the post when I shared it. But yeah, his Taste the Movement shirt. Wait, let me turn like that. His Taste the Movement shirt he had gave when he was here, and I told him, I'll definitely throw that on one of these days soon. So that is what I am wearing today. How did you write it down, but you don't have it? Why? Because you did not write down the name of the show, and you expect me to keep stalling. Yeah. So again, like I was saying, the Billboard Music Awards happened. I didn't watch it, but what did happen was Doja Cat had an outfit that people were saying was risque, and I was like, it really wasn't. It was a skirt, and the top they got cut off here, and the skirt and the top were two different colors. The black and the top was sheer, and she just had these pasties on. And I'm like, yo, when Lil Kim did it, it was risque. When Doja Cat does it in 2022, I'm just like, I've seen it. Oh, look, you finally came back. Did I stall long enough? Did you finally find the name of the show of your topic that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I did. The name of
You thought I couldn't stall that long, didn't you?
the name of the movie is called Equal Standard.
Equal Standard. Okay.
Equal Standard.
First, what is it about?
All right.
I haven't seen it.
So what happens is this. It's this cop, right? And he's a black cop. Mm-hmm. And eventually what happens is, while he's off duty, him and his friend, they're coming out of a store. They get approached by two undercover police officers. And eventually what happens is the white officers shoot, because he didn't have his ID. They shoot the black officer, even though he's telling them, hey, I'm a cop. And he's saying things, he's giving codes to let you know, like, hey,
I
only
know
a cop
what the
will
fuck
know.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. So the partner...
Why don't they have a code for that?
They do. But again, if you're dead set on shooting somebody, you don't give a damn about that. Well, so the partner of the guy that shoots the black cop is looking over at his partner like, hey, look, this dude, he knows what he's talking about. He's saying, what's going on. He's saying, he's a cop. The other cop, he don't care. So he goes, he shoots the black guy. And while going down, the black police officer, he shoots the white guy. The white police officer ends up dying. The black one ends up surviving. So what happens is the whole city is still going, like, it's kind of like a point where they kind of having like little riots and little protests because another white officer had shot a black unarmed person. And in that situation, they showed the white officer getting off, no charges. And when the white officer came out, he's celebrating and shit. And everybody was like, he shouldn't have got off for shooting the unarmed black guy. And the brother of the guy that got shot or got killed by that officer comes up to the court and he shoots the guy that just got off. So the police is like, they real on edge about everything. And especially after the other police officer got shot and killed by the supposed black police officer. So everybody that the black police officer has to go through is pretty much white. And it's pretty much looking like, it's going to be a situation where he's going to end up going to jail because they end up charging him for shooting the white police officer. And they saying, like, you didn't say you was a police officer.
What?
Yeah. So he said, like, you didn't say you was a police officer. So they internal affairs.
IA.
Yeah. So they have to interview.
Like you should have known that better than me. Go ahead.
I don't watch them cop shows. So they got to do their little investigation and they interview both people. They interview the cop, the black cop that got shot, and they interviewed the partner of the white cop that was there when the shooting happened. And, the white cop or the white internal affairs guy, he's listening to what both guys say, and he's breaking everything down based on what they're saying, because the white officer is pretty much saying like he never said he was a police officer. He didn't tell us this, that, and the third. He was protecting his partner.
Yeah, right.
Now, the cop that shot the black police officer, he comes from a racist family anyway. Well, I ain't say a racist family. Most of his family is racist. They using the N word. They pissed off that their son got killed, this, that, and the third. But they come from a police officer family, so it's other people in the family as police officers. The father.
Are they? What is their cultural or their?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, like, were they Italian? Were they Irish? What city was this?
I forget what city. It might have been like Baltimore or New York or something.
Oh yeah, so they. But continue. Only reason why I asked is because I know, like, some people just talk about us that way, and that doesn't always make them racist. I haven't seen this, but sometimes that's just how we get referred to, and they kind of still really fuck with us. That's just when they talking to each other. Yeah. That's why I was wondering.
The brother of the white police officer, he meets with, we'll call him not quite the Klan, but they were Klanish.
Okay.
So they plan on getting revenge on the black police officer. So the other brother-in-law to the white police officer, he goes and he tells to his brother-in-law, I guess, his other brother-in-law that's not dead. He's like, listen, he's like, whatever you about to do, don't do it. He was like, I swear to God, if you do something stupid, I will arrest you my fucking self. So, he's trying to help the grieving widow, and he's dealing with the stupid brother of the cop that got shot. So the cop that got shot's brother, he goes off. They plan something to where they're gonna shoot him at first, and the one guy, he gets scared. He don't want to do it. So they come back a different day. They break into his house.
I'm sorry. They plan to do what?
They plan to shoot the black guy.
To kill him?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure I'm keeping it okay.
So they break into his house. They string up this Confederate flag.
Oh boy.
And they leave. So what happens is, because it's a police officer family, the brother hasn't really ever been in trouble to the point where they've gotten his fingerprint. So they don't have him on record. So when they dust the whole house of fingerprints, they don't have any record. They don't know what the fuck going on. The brother is so stupid that he goes out. They're going out to do something else to this guy, and they have a stolen car. The car gets pulled over because the stupid ass brother gets out, pees broad daylight. He goes to a corner, pees in the corner, gets back in the car. They get pulled over immediately. The cop is right behind him. He's like, listen, my brother's the cop that got killed, this, that, and the third. So the white police officer was like, okay, listen, cool. If everything checks out, we'll let you go. Sorry for your loss, man. Blah, blah, blah. So they go back to check his license. He gets out the car, and then the other guy that's riding with him, the not Klan but Klan guy, gets out the car and he takes off running. So the police officers chase after him, but they also arrest the brother. So what happens is, while the brother is waiting to get out of prison, or out of jail, I should say, the brother-in-law comes, that's also a police officer. He's like, listen, he always does stupid shit. I'm sorry. Only thing that happened was there was a stolen car, no harm, no foul. I'll take responsibility for him. Let me go in here and talk to him. He was like, listen, like I told you, you do something stupid. He was like, but this time, you didn't do nothing too bad. Let's get you on up out of here. Let's go. So when he turns around, the brother-in-law is standing right beside a police officer that opens up the jail doors. He's like, but wait. He's like, you're not going to believe this. He was like, he has a warrant. He was like, what the fuck he has a warrant for? He was like, well, he's like, you remember when the black police officer that got shot, somebody broke into his house? He was like, yeah. He was like, well, his fingerprints came up inside of the home. Mm-hmm. So he turns back around while the dude is walking out of jail. He was like, sit back down. He was like, I told you, if you do something stupid, I'm going to arrest you my fucking self. So the cop was like, what do you want me to do? He was like, book him. He walks out. They close the jail cell on him. The other black police officer, he's still going to court as far as the they're trying to charge him.
Trying to charge him with self-defense.
What was it like, man? It might have been manslaughter.
That's like though, you know what's crazy? That's like with my story when I was like, yo, the doctor went to jail for like the bullshit. You was saying because his fingerprints was in the house.
Yeah.
Not the other shit.
I mean, shit.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, Mom, you talked about that for a minute, so your story was long, so I kept up with as much as I could. From what I got, the two white cops shot the black guy coming out the store, claimed he didn't say he was a cop, even though he said he was a cop. And as he was dying, he shot the white cop, he killed the white cop. The white cop's partner was like, yo, he didn't say he was actually a cop, and this was self-defense for us. They tried to kill the black cop along with his Confederate Ku Klux Klan friends, and they got caught for being in the house, and then the black cop was on trial for self-defense.
Well, he was being charged for it.
Self-defense.
Yeah. Well, no, not self-defense.
Did I break that down?
Not self-defense.
I'm claiming self-defense. Fuck whatever they was saying.
I think it was either murder or
so maybe I did catch it. So I did good though, right? So how did that end?
What happens is this: the other police officer, that was the other white police officer, gets a new partner. They're in a car and is fucking with him so much because internal affairs asked you a bunch of questions, and even the internal. Here's the kicker: the internal affairs guys are white.
Yeah,
and when they show a point when the one guy goes and he goes home, he has a black wife, and he's telling his wife, he was like, you know. When he told me his story, he was like, the black officer said he condolences to the family, this, that, and the third. He was like, you know, the other guy, he was like, he didn't even acknowledge him as a fellow officer. When he was like, he said he didn't do this, he said he didn't do that. So he had a doubt in his mind.
Why would that be the doubt? Well, I guess so. Here's what I hate. Why are you giving condolences? See, ain't that crazy how one side is so stuck on their beliefs and it's still fuck you even in death? And then here we go. You said it was the black cop giving condolences?
Yeah.
Why?
Fellow officer.
Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck you.
Fellow officer.
Fuck that. Fuck you.
I hope you
fuck
never.
That. Fuck you.
He
killed him. He killed him. That was the officer that you said had shot him anyway, right? Yeah. And then as he was dying, he shot his ass back. Wow, yeah. See, black people good with that forgiveness shit. Some of y'all, I ain't. Fuck you.
Okay.
I'm glad you got him on the way down. I'm glad you got him on the way down.
Let's take a time out and separate what's going on. Because when things like this happen, the law is about the remorse of something.
Like, what does he have to be remorseful for?
Listen. You could be charged with, let's say, at whatever time it is right now, 9:30, 9:45, at whatever day this is, somebody could say, you know, Ricky sexually molested me or some shit like that, right? So, you know that we right here is live. Mm-hmm. But if you get in front of that jury and they find you guilty, you still have to show remorse. And when you go in front of like the parole people, when you get in front of the probation officers.
Remorse for what? He tried to kill me. Why am I remorseful for that? I am happy to be alive.
That's what the law is about. Remorse.
No, it's not. And see, that's why I asked. Because for me being the cop, I'm like, yo, if what you're saying is true and this person trying to kill you, tried to kill you, ended up dying himself, what do you have remorse for?
In law. In law, I'm telling you how the law works.
That to me, that makes the person look guilty. Why are you remorseful? You defended yourself. This person committed a hate crime against you, and you defended yourself successfully.
Yeah, but you can't go in there with your hand up with a championship.
You ain't got to do all that. But I sorry, Your Honor, I'm happy to be alive.
listen, you happen to be alive, but you also have to go in there and say, listen, they lost a brother, a
no,
son,
he wasn't.
this, that, and
No,
the
he
third.
wasn't. He wasn't my brother.
You have to.
Your brother tried to kill me.
You have to go
black.
in there. Listen, when you get in front of that courtroom and you are talking to those people, it's about that remorse. And that's what, but listen, that's what got him off, is because he was the one that went in there. He showed that remorse. He was the one that went in there.
No.
And he
acknowledged. That goes both ways, though.
He acknowledged the other officer as a police officer instead of just acknowledging him as just a person.
Pathetic.
I mean, the law is the law.
We know that justice not work in our favor, though, don't we? Why I'm saying pathetic is, now I will say for some that what I was saying, it could work both ways, because some people would just be remorseful for taking a life, period, regardless of what life that was. I can see that. But for me, I'm happy to be alive. You tried to kill me. And also, your side of the story is this person tried to kill you for being black. His partner is standing here saying that you didn't identify yourself as a fellow officer. So I wouldn't need to see remorse from you in that way. Like, for me, if I'm the judge, I wouldn't be surprised to see a person come in, especially being a person of color, especially the things that have taken place, especially the things that even just took place this past week. I would not be surprised if you came in with a blank face. That would be okay to me. I would totally understand. I would totally understand that this one didn't defeat you.
But you know what?
I would totally understand that this one didn't put you on a t-shirt. I would totally understand that this one didn't cause a fucking riot. I would totally understand that this one didn't cause a march. Hooray! You made it. Yeah. What's the name of this movie?
Because you're still not paying attention to what I'm telling you.
I am.
You have to go.
No, I don't.
This is the way this game
and that's part of our problem right there.
No,
that's part of our problem of being black right there.
Listen. Even if you're white, you still have to show remorse.
Zimmerman.
He didn't get convicted, though.
Didn't show remorse either, did he?
He didn't get convicted.
Didn't show remorse either. Convicted. Exactly. He didn't show remorse. He didn't get convicted. He's walking around, sitting here signing fucking.
But listen, that's a different story.
Nope. You said even when you white, you need to show remorse also, and I'm like, no.
Listen, okay, you're confusing. I understand what it is. You're confusing the two.
Okay.
You have to show remorse once you're convicted, or if we're going to internal affairs and we're talking about something that happened between a fellow officer. Those are the times when you have to, hey, you still have to say fellow officer, blah, blah, blah. Those are the times you have to do, white or black.
Aren't we watching the city?
Listen, if you are white and you get convicted of a crime and you walk your ass in there and they go say, are you remorseful for what you did? And you say, nope. Guess what? They gonna be like, you're getting the fucking max. The fucking max. Like, everything about the justice system is a game. And once you understand that, and once you understand the things that they are expecting in that, it's just like when people get convicted and they base it all off of, like, during the whole trial, your face was such and such. You think of yourself like, I had something completely different on my mind. I didn't have, what I'm saying? Like, you want me to be mad, or you want me to be sad or remorseful about whatever happened. But, what I'm saying? Like, I'm not guilty. I'm saying? I didn't do it, this, that, and the third. And they'll go completely off of your actions or your face. And they'll be like, you didn't even show, remorse when the girl was talking about what happened to her. I
totally understood everything you said. And what I'm telling you is, especially since we got to end this show, is fuck that. I am happy to be alive. You are not about to sit here and tell me I have to have regret. I have to have remorse for this person that tried to kill me just because I was black. On top of that, I am also a cop too. You supposed to be my fellow officer. It's actually supposed to be us against them anyway, and you tried to kill me. So I am even more aggravated at the situation. Thank you for tuning in every Thursday, somewhere between 7 and 2 o'clock, live on
Yeah, like
Facebook.
7:30 maybe.
Yo,
7:45.
next week, I'm so glad you said that. Next week we will be on time. Skinner's home. Yo, we gotta start announcing our guests on the show too. We throw the pictures up for the announcements and things like that. But we can definitely announce y'all on the show before. I double checked. He is definitely coming on next Thursday. So I told him to be here at 7:30. We will definitely be starting by 8 o'clock on the show. 7:30 means I got to set up. That does not mean I'm going to be late. Yes, 8 o'clock. Tune in live next Thursday. You know what? That'll be a good time. We can go and do the live stream pre-show while I get the rest of everything set up. While he's here, you'll have somebody to converse with. I don't have to focus too hard. Again, I'm your host, BLK Pepper Potts.
I am the host, Maserati.
Could have let that go. Sponsored by Peace of Mind Protection. Every Thursday, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Just say fuck it. Some just, hey, special guest.